to it as to how the games do progress. So,
yeah,
I mean, it looks like the players are getting ready to go.
Yeah, man, I'm really excited to see. I'm gonna admit a bit bias here. Really excited to see what this Zerg player in the blue in the top right-hand corner can do. Give it up for Scarlett.
Whoop, whoop, whoop. And on the other side of things, it is Xigua.
Xigua's sitting there in the booth, not looking nervous, looking unfazed. He's been on this stage before. He knows the deal, whereas Scarlett in a bit of unfamiliar territory here in China. I don't think she's competed out here before.
Yeah, I'm trying to think right now, and if she did, it was definitely a while ago. So, yeah, let's see if that's going to really factor in at all, as we do already see from both of them quite different styles. Xigua is going to be going for the hatch first, while it looks like Scarlett already mining the gas. She's getting her pool as well. And we're going to do some old-fashioned 14-14 action here.
Yeah, but like in Legacy of the Void 14-14, it almost like feels more like just the safe build than the cheese right now. Like a lot of the times you just kind of make some wings so you don't die and then you macro out of it. And if that's what Scarlett does, I think she'll be at a bit of a build order disadvantage. But there's absolutely pressure opportunities here for her as we continue to move in.
Yeah, and a thing that you also have to note is that you're going to be going onto a map like Dusk Towers. First game of the matchup, you haven't really felt each other out yet, and this is kind of like the comfort zone map, so if you're going to go into a 15 hatch, this is going to be the map to do it on. But here goes Scarlett, even hiding the Lings on the right side.
Yeah, very clever Ling pathing there. That's going to allow her to continue to move across the map unscouted. The Baneling nest goes down, so this is going to be committed aggression here. Zergling speed about a quarter of the way done. Scarlett has an opportunity to do a lot of damage if Xigua doesn't anticipate this.
Yeah, and I mean, he's not going to find it out for quite a bit of time. These overlords are going to be just going ever so slowly across the middle of the map. Scarlett is pooling her Lings inside of her main at the same time. She already has 4, and these most likely will be the ones that turn into Banelings. And at this point, I mean, you're either going to blindly, try to counter and say, okay, I'll make some Lings, or you're just going to go ahead and make some drones for the most part, as the macro build would insist.
Yeah, now this is the first indication that Xigua is getting of these Zerglings coming across the map. He's going to have to react very quickly. He starts by making a few Lings of his own. His Ling speed is quite a ways out from finishing. This is going to give Scarlett a lot of time to juke and jive around her opponent as she pokes up into this main base of Xigua. She's going to be looking around with these speedlings for any damage opportunities to get done. Drones being transferred back up into the main so Xigua can posture more defensively as the second queen comes up to fight. Scarlett catching some of these units here on the natural ramp as she continues to move around looking for damage.
Yep, and it looks like she's going to settle for the natural for now. There are no more drones over there. Xigua has been setting up in a really cool way. He put down the Evo chamber on the south side, and we'll see if he has any other ways to do it here. It's one Baneling hit, not going to be the greatest. Scarlett is going to be able to take that natural down with relative ease, and Xigua played it a bit safe by getting the Baneling nest first before the speed, but down goes the hatchery. Scarlett going to take a little bit of a lead here as far as that goes, but she has to be very careful because she is on a lower drone count. And Xigua, he could... Oh, man. He has Banelings already. 2, 3. We're going to be blowing up there, but I think he should be able to hold it here.
Yeah, that was a pretty good hold here at the ramp. It looks like Scarlett is bouncing around down here once again, looking probably not to continue to try to do crazy amounts of damage at this time. She's just trying to contain Xigua. She already saw him go for that third expansion, so that's tipped him off that he might try to re-expand there again. But it looks like he's going to take that natural and just kind of try to hold at the top of this ramp.
Indeed, and if you continue with the aggression, you're able to at least keep on trading in, and I did say there was a bit of a lead for Scarlett, but I believe Xigua should have the lead right now. Keeping all of his drones alive, he didn't lose any of them, and it's not like he really lost that many of the Lings that he made. Traded it relatively well, I would say.
Yeah, but now actually Xigua, looking there, trying to get that Baneling pick, but Scarlett is on top of things. She's not going to let him peel that off with a single Ling, and she's looking maybe to go up this ramp once again. That's a lot of Banelings.
So scary sometimes when it comes down to it, but the control is going to be real.
Yeah,
I do like the fact that they are in that lane environment, so...
Yeah, really sharp Zergling control out of Scarlett. Just peeling off 2 there, right-clicking on that Baneling and snapping one off for a single Ling, I believe. And force Xigua to back off now as she's going to be trying to dart in once again, perhaps. She's finally caught up in drones, despite that lead she took by killing the natural. Xigua remained on a higher drone count, but Scarlett is containing Xigua right now and throwing down her own third. This is going to give her access to so much production as we continue to move into the mid stage of the game.
Yeah. Well, the tech advantage will be going to Xigua. He is going for that lair. I believe he has already gone up to 4 gases at the moment, and hey, you can get to third base, and that will allow you to get that production, but if you don't really capitalize on it or realize what it is that your opponent is doing, in this case, it is going to be the Spire here, Joe. And Scarlett, I mean, if the third base doesn't get taken, you can only assume that it is going to be, like, some kind of Spire play, 2-base-initis, but, ooh, nice trade.
Yeah, I mean, at some point, alarm bells are going to be going off in Scarlett's head, but now Xigua trying to take that third once again. Ooh, nice surround on the drone there, and she actually gets a decent connection with the banelings at the same time this is all going on. She's throwing down her own Roach Warren, and Xigua's Spire is about halfway done.
Yeah, I mean, she wants to get into the base there. She hasn't been able to get any scouting information, but if there aren't going to be any Roaches there to defend, then you kind of have to take the precautions, you know, if you just assume that they're not going to be going for a Spire, then you run that risk of just losing way too many drones while the third base gets taken, but it is not going to be able to be scouted, I don't think, until it's actually finished.
Yeah, I mean, the first indication could be Muta's getting right on top of her drones or overlords. She is pulling all her overlords home. Yeah, something's going off. It's 6 star sense. Scarlett's a very experienced tournament player, and I think you gotta know at this point in the game your opponent's crazy behind unless they're going for that Spire.
Oh, for sure. Like, I think just pulling these back, even though she has a few on the other side, leaving one, you know, on that side will at least kind of confirm it when they do get taken out by the initial flock of mutas.
Yeah, and I do love that she was continuing to apply that Ling pressure just a little bit, just making her dance, taxing her multitasking, and maybe making her think more of defending the front instead of building spore crawlers, which is one of those things you can sometimes just forget to do as you're dealing with pressure at the front of your base.
Yeah. So it looks like she isn't going to be making any of the spore crawlers. She has the opportunity to actually go for mutas herself, but she did drop the Roach Warren and then looks like is going to be going for the Roach Speed. So there's the first indication of the mutas, and that gives her ample time to prepare for it because Xigua is going to go ahead and try to kill the Overseer, not prioritizing the damage that he can get done here.
Yeah, but now it looks like these mutas going to be making their way across the map. They can start to control the drone count. Scarlett really needs to add on those spore crawlers.
I mean, she's just going to be relying on the queens. She did get the Hydralisk Den, though.
Oh.
And I don't know. Sometimes it's pretty tough here whenever you have low-number Hydras, but I think she believes that the queens and the Hydras should be able to hold it.
Yeah, the Ling Roach will obviously buffer for those queens as the Zerglings of Xigua stream in. The Mutalisk getting right on top of all of these queens, which are continuing to trade blows as best they can. The Hydra count, though, is not really there yet. She needs all of those queens firing at once, but Xigua's Lings are getting on top of everything. I'm a little bit scared here for Scarlett.
Wow, it is very scary here. She is up in the drone count, maybe droned a bit too hard, but I think if she can get some Hydras out, she should be able to hold. Oh, but so many of these are going to be falling now, and Xigua just dives on top of everything that Scarlett had. I guess those spore crawlers, I mean, even one of them could have been very, very crucial in that defense.
Yeah, she almost had enough to hold it initially, but now it's continuing to swing in Xigua's favor as these mutas get right on top of all those roaches. Scarlett's unit count is plummeting, and she is in a lot of trouble here. Another spore crawler getting surrounded. The Mutalisk count of Xigua has dropped significantly, but I don't think Scarlett has anything left to deal with this ground army.
No, that's going to be the bigger issue here. She hasn't lost too many drones, but that's going to be changing very soon here, and G to the G. Xigua, with a very, very decisive attack, just takes it out. Takes pretty much that third base. All the drones that were there, Scarlett gets maybe a little bit too confident